Hi Docs, not sure if you'll read this, but I just wanted to thank you for all the videos over the years. I started watching you when I was in high school and you played with Racing Santander. What a career mode, man. My first ever CNC back in FIFA 15. My life has changed immensely since then. I don't even play FIFA anymore and I'm getting married next month, but I still tune in at least for the first series of each year. Thank you for being a bright spot for me and many others for so many years. I hope this year is a great one for you, and as always, I'm excited to watch it unfold. Well, Will, appreciate your comment, mate. Thank you so much. Always lovely to get a message like that. Thank you for your support for well over a decade now, and congratulations on the upcoming marriage as well. And welcome back to another episode of Career Mode, guys. It is episode number 43, and we've got a massive one today. Really looking forward to it as well, on the back of a thrilling victory against Man City at the Etihad Stadium. More games in the Premier League aims to pull further clear of them, and the Gunners will have the FA Cup fourth round against Millwall, hopefully, but if not, we'll save that for the next one. Champions League match day 7 and 8 of the league phase, but we start with this. It is Man City once again, but this time in the Carabao Cup. Semi-final, first leg, and I can't see us beating them back to back, especially as we'll have our backup side out there. But let's see if we can keep our quadruple dreams alive. The first leg here at the Stadium of Light. How are the lads? Recently I have been a little depressed, and it comes and it goes as it does. Never going to fully get away with it. I deal with it so much better than I did when I was younger, and long-term viewers, I'm sure, would understand how much more difficult I found it back in the day. But now I've got better coping mechanisms, I suppose. As Keane is denied by Patterson, and Rigg does brilliantly well to clear it away with Haaland approaching for the rebound. And as it's still 0-0, what a great clearance that was. But yeah, when I get a message like that, honestly, it means the world. It really does. I think knowing that there's still people out there that have been watching me for all that time, but when new viewers come in as well and want to stay for the long term too, it means the world to me, man. And yeah, I've had so many wonderful comments since this save began, since FC 26 was released. I've worked so hard on this save. I'm doing my absolute best to keep it consistent despite working a full-time job. And it's tiring, but when I get messages like that and the comments like that and the appreciation I'm getting in this save, yeah, it makes all the difference. And it makes me know that even in my negative mental health state at times, I know there are people out there that appreciate what I do and appreciate me as well. It does lift the mood a little bit too. That's a great ball for us. Watson onside. I think he is just off. When it comes down to depression, I never really like to, give tips on how to deal with it, because your mileage may vary. What works for one person might not work for someone else. But the one thing I would say that's helped me a lot is definitely being consistent with my physical exercise routines. As Moise Kean fires in the opener, has been consistent. Well, he's been brilliant since he arrived back in the Premier League from Fiorentina, going for the golden boot in the Premier League, and that's his second in the League Cup as well, as Man City deservedly had the lead. But definitely, for sure, that's probably my biggest tip I could give to trying to combat depression. It's not going to solve all the issues, I know that, but definitely I feel like physical and mental health are linked. If you can improve the latter, I think your former is going to start to pick up as well. But what we need to do is pick up our game, because second half's about to get underway. On the back of this first half ending, a goal down. I haven't got going yet. We're the underdogs, obviously, with a total backup side against a fully strength Man City team, but I have not caused Donnarumma any kind of problems at all yet. I've even lost some of my backup players to help me get here as well, that I've loaned out, such as Ajayi and Reynal. And right now, I need to... it doesn't even sound the same, Doxy, mate. You can't use that as a play on words. Right now, Reynal. It doesn't work. It's like Carl Pilkington's Rockbusters. Watson, bring it on. Burrows. Oh, he smacks it in. Harrison Burrows beats Donnarumma and gets his first of the season to the Sunderland back on level terms. But I said it, we've got to start the second half better than we ended the first. That is the way to do it. Unlikely goal scorer, but we will take it. A goalkeeper of Donnarumma's class should not be beaten at his near post like that, though. He'll want that one back, but we'll go back to our own half. Now tied at 1-1. What a finish that was. Credit Harrison Burrows there, because that is a sweet strike. And Patterson just about gets fingertips on that to turn it behind for a corner. Yes, Donnarumma should have done better, don't get me wrong, but he still has to hit it with a lot of power, keep it down, and hit it just above Donnarumma's head as well. That's always an awkward one for a goalkeeper, that too, Patterson. Well claimed, son. When it's just above your head. I know it sounds a bit obvious, but angling your arm. I'm doing. This is where I wish I had face cam. I'm doing the motion with my arms. But when you put your arms up towards your head, it's kind of hard to bend them in, if you will, and get enough strength to get enough contact with the ball. So that's why it was awkward for Donnarumma to save it, and that's why he couldn't. Anyway, 18 minutes to go. I'll take this. Heading into the Etihad for the second leg, I just wanted to still be in the tie and not have it over. As things stand, we'll be doing that. They'll be in a driving seat, being at home and tied, but at least we won't be out of tie with the second leg to come. Keane, good save, Patterson. Yeah, I'll take that. Not a great performance in the end. Quite lucky to get the draw, but it does mean we stay undefeated after no losses in our last 10 in all competitions, and head to the Etihad for the second leg. Man City will feel like favourites, but we're not out of tie yet. We'll still have a chance heading to the northwest of England. Right, following game, match day 22 in the Premier League, and a golden chance here to go further clear at the top of the table. Right now, 4 ahead of Arsenal and 6 clear of Man City as well. With a chance today to go 7 clear at the top of the table with 3 points here against Graham Potter's West Ham. How is he still here at this point in the save? But it's West Ham at the Stadium of Light with a chance to extend the gap at the top of the table. How are you, lads? Well, to be fair, I'll say that. I mean, West Ham are 9th in the table right now. You know, they're doing really well in this save. He's got him in the Carabao Cup semis as well, lest we forget too. He's doing well. Like, maybe he had a very tough time at West Ham in real life, but in the save, he's doing fine. So that's why he's still there. And this is the point. This is when the manager market does well. I was saying, how's he still there? There's your answer, Doxy boy. He's doing brilliantly. As Fatawi says, well, oh no, he won't keep this one out, and we will get the win here. Vicario disagrees. Great save by the ex-Spurs keeper. Still 0-0 for now, but I can imagine it'll be one-way traffic for most of the game. Kyle, take your time, son. Vicario is there again. Fatawi, nice ball through that to Ahmad. I want him to come towards me, but it's alright, I'll pass around him instead. There's Kyle. Oh, flicks it through. Wonderfully done. Siddiqui, can you fish? No, clips the post. And West Ham get it away. A succession of misses in this first half, despite Sunderland dominance. These are the games, man. These are the games. We say it all the time. When you're at home against a side who, you know, West Ham might be doing all right, but we've got a better team. We're in better form. You got to win these. You want to win the title, you got to win your home games. As Towie fricks it through, and cleared by Kilman. Free kick for Sunderland, which Hannibal takes quickly. And Guerrero steps inside. Where have I seen this before? Anthony Guerrero! Oh! Just get enough dip on it, onto the roof of the net. It's been a game of dominance from Sunderland, but no goals to show for it, and thus no win to show for it yet. 26 to find a winner. Well, I said that we had a great opportunity today to go further clear at the top of the table. Call it opportunity miss. It's a goalless draw at home to West Ham. Back to back, we've been held by the Irons. And I said pre-game, how is Graham Potter still there? There's your answer, Doxy boy. He shut you up twice in a row. 2 points taken from 6 against this West Ham team. These are the games we have to win if we're to be Premier League champions. Big missed opportunity there. Right, following game, Wednesday night, Bayern Munich away from home. It is match day 7 of the league phase, and with several teams on 11 points right now, this our final away day in Europe. I can't see us getting anything here against a side that thrashed us in the last 16 last year as we reunite with Brian Brobby once again. I'll take a point to stay unbeaten, but I highly doubt we'll get that at best. Following game, Bayern away. Brobby on the bench for this game. They've gone with Openda and Burkhardt as their strike duo. It's going to be a tough one to keep them quiet. When you've got a striker like Brian Brobby coming off the bench, it shows you the depth they've got as Openda, who is one of my biggest arch nemesis is on FC. Almost got the opening goal there, and it not being for a good save by Roos. He is just, honestly, he's just so hard to stop. He's got everything. He really is the complete package of a forward, man. It's why I struggle against him so much, as Hinshelwood does brilliantly well there. And says Fatawu, off you go. Oh, well. I mean, that's slightly over it. Listen, Abdul is quick. I don't think even Usain Bolt is catching up to that. So second half is getting underway at the Allianz, and we are still currently deadlocked at 0-0. And it's a result I would definitely take, because whilst it would extend the winless run to 3 in all competitions, as Burkhardt is denied by Roos low down to his right. You know, not many teams go to the Allianz and leave dissatisfied with a point. They just brought on Brobby, they've brought on Elise instead. As Brobby is itching to get on, as Johnny Burkhardt's header goes just wide of Roos's post. But yeah, it means that going into match day 8, a point here, and we'll still have a chance of qualification. We'll have to beat Craiova at home. I fancy our chances there, and it will still be out of our hands, but at least we'll have a chance. Just like the Man City first leg, I just want a chance heading into the final game. To Luttrell, just clear it. And Vitaly does want to keep it in possession as well. It's been a really tough game tonight, as expected. And now it's Trey slides Vitaly down the right. We might get one chance here to win this in the second half. We get it. We've got to take it. Oh, Norton! Rig! Yes! Come on! Sunderland snatch and grab as Chris Rigg puts us in front. It's the Academy boys linking up. But what an assist from Kyle Norton. That's why we said Brian can go. I've got the future in behind him. And we don't get to see it on the replay, but we might on the second. It's a sweet strike from Chris Rigg, but the Rabona assist from Kyle Norton. Look at that. Oh, that is glorious. Sunderland in front against the run of play. What an unlikely victory this is going to be for Sunderland. Totally against the run of play, weathering the storm for the majority of the contest. And in the final 20 minutes, Chris Rigg gets one chance, takes one shot, and scores one goal. Come on, don't throw it away, don't throw it away, don't throw it away. To surely win it. Musiala. Jamal. Openda rolls it in! And that's why Brian Brobby stayed on the bench. Johnny Burkhart rescues Bayern Munich and breaks Sunderland hearts at the death. We'll have to beat Crowther on match day 8 and we still might not finish in the top 8. Bayern Munich have just got the point to extend our unbeaten run, but stop us from returning to winning ways. Final kick of the game. Just couldn't hold on. But this is why they are Germany's best and one of Europe's best. So close to a famous win in the Allianz Arena, snatched away right at the death. Yeah, our final game is against Craiova at home, and with all due respect, we should beat them. We should get the 3 points there, and that'll take us to 15 points. But whether it's enough, I guess we're going to find out. I think it probably would be, but it's going to be close. It's going to be very, very, very close indeed. On the back of no wins in our last 3, well, we've got to get back to winning ways here. Yep, following contest back to matters in the Premier League. And on the back of the draw against West Ham, the gap now cut to 2 at the top of the table with both Arsenal and Man City closing back in. And a big contest next up as well. This season, not had a great campaign so far, but away from home at Old Trafford, difficult place for us to go after no wins in our last 3 games. Following contest, Manchester United away, big game here. How are the lads? Half an hour in, still currently tied at 0-0. And I did see pre-game that Arsenal have just gone, top of the table. So this game in hand, but only a win will put us back in pole position. So the Gunners right now are on a really, really good run of form to go from being, what were they, 7 behind and now leading the way. But it also shows you Sunderland's problems as well. We've really dropped the ball recently. And no wins in our last 3 in all competitions. Only a win today will put us back in pole position. Otherwise, the Gunners will stay leading the way with 16 to play. At the moment, I'm struggling to create chances, struggling to break teams down, and thus struggling to get the goals as well. It's going to have to change. And maybe it will here. Vitaly hits it with the outside of the right boot. Ter Stegen goes, oh, what's happened there? What's happened there? Ter Stegen, who is normally so dependably brilliant, has just dropped a clanger. And there is no way Vitaly is claiming that. That is one of the most bizarre goals I have scored in FC 26. Oh, it wasn't him actually, it was Martinez who ran in. What is he doing? Martinez, I thought it was Ter Stegen who fumbled it, but Martinez got it away. Awful, awful mistake. And Sunderland have the very fortunate breakthrough. In order to win a title, you need depth, you need consistency, you need brilliance. But everyone would admit this, you need a bit of luck along the way as well. There is a big helping of it right on cue. Martinez with a howler. Sunderland in front. I thought it was Ter Stegen initially. Sorry to the big German, it was Martinez actually. And Sunderland have the breakthrough. Someone check Lissandro Martinez's Bet365 account, because that looked a bit sus. Very sus from Martinez, although we will take it. And Sunderland have the breakthrough heading into the second half. And to be fair, Manchester United haven't really caused a problem at all. We've looked a better team out there. It's a bizarre way to get the goal. We have been the better side. And if we do keep this going, I'm pretty confident we'll get a second goal as well. Garo does really well. Keeps hold of the ball. Finds Talby. Ahmad. Hannibal for 2. Wonderful move. Great finish. And the X-Red Devil doubles the lead. Lucky first goal, nothing lucky about the second, just a wonderfully orchestrated build-up and a great finish. I always feel a bit bad when I've won a game through an absolutely catastrophic error from the AI. Because I say this all the time, but like, you know, it's realistic for defenders and goalkeepers to have monumental mistakes on rare occasions, because that is real football. It happens all the time. I say all the time. It happens quite often, even at the top level. You're going to see it. As Talby, oh, brilliant save by Ter Stegen. But it does still feel a bit bad knowing that's how you got the win. But today, whether that first goal got scored that way or not, we're going to deserve these 3 points. We've been on top for the majority of the game. We scored a lovely second goal, and I think if we keep pushing as well, we'll probably get a third. Hannibal's delivery, headed, oh, it should have gone in. Norton's volley goes wide the post, but it's been all Sunderland, to be fair. Habib Diarra, our former midfielder, slides it through. Sesko has his pass intercepted by Gray. He's had a great game dealing with Mbumu today. And it's Fatal who's onto that long ball through. This might be the dagger. Norton. Oh, it would have been great if I got a goal alongside Hannibal too. But that's going to do it. And that's the kind of performance you need, man. Defensively rock solid at the back. And granted, the first goal was definitely the most bizarre I've seen in FC 26 so far. And I'm sure Lissandro and Martinez will get a call from the FA in the morning, say, can we check your bank account? But it is a big 3 points from Sunderland. Back on track and back in pole position. Right, following game, Wednesday night, match day 8 of the Champions League phase. Our final one. And we have to beat Universitatea Craiova, the Romanian side in the Stadium Light, to have any chance of finishing top 8. A win, and we still might not make it, but only a win gives us the chance. So our final game today, Craiova on match day 8 of the league phase, where we must win to have any chance of bypassing the playoffs. Jack gets on the deck, finds Neil. Now a mad space to shoot and belts one off target. 23 minutes in and plenty of time, plenty of the game to go. So not worried that we're still deadlocks here. I'm sure we'll get a breakthrough not before long. And I've got a mix of starters and bench boys out for this one because we got Southampton at home on the weekend. We slipped up against them at St Mary's earlier this season. I don't want a repeat result of that. We need to get on a winning run in the Premier League if we are to stay top of the table and keep the Gunners and Man City at bay. So I don't want any of my starters to get too tired or injured for that one. There is, oh, it's gone in. Kyle Norton, 2 bizarre goals in 2 games. He went to shoot, it deflected off the defender, and then he kind of rolled it into the bottom corner on his follow through. 2 absolutely bizarre goals today. And it's a good finish, but it's not what he meant to do. Watch this on the second replay. It's the follow through. It gets into what corner. It's a clean finish. It's very accurate, but it's not what he meant to do initially. That kind of reminds me a bit of Wayne Rooney's bicycle kick against Manchester City, one of the all-time greatest Manchester derby goals ever. I remember watching it in real time with my dad, rest in peace, and my brother as well. And all 3 of us were just like in awe of the technique, and no one in the stadium, no one watching around the world knew what had happened initially. It was only when you saw it on the second replay that you realised it came off his shin. And it was an incredible bicycle kick, don't get me wrong, but it certainly didn't hit the part of the leg which he was aiming for initially. Anyway, they all count, as does that one. And Sunderland lead with 6 to play before the break, get a second goal, and that will surely do it. And whether it'll be enough for us to make it through without going into the playoffs, I guess we'll find out. But tonight, we just need us to do our job, and we shall. First Norton, then Ahmad, 2 for the Black Cats, and that is definitely a win confirmed on match day 8. I'm sure she was all day. You're never going to lose that aerial duel. With half an hour to go, still leading by 2. Of course, it's worth pointing out that because of how tight it is, it may all come down to goal difference. And so, oh, what a ball. May have that. A 3rd goal, a 4th goal, a 5th goal, that might make all the difference to our chances of qualifying. So Promise has got it, but mate, go pick the ball up if you want. Let's go for a 4th. This is where you need a league table on the side of the screen, just like you can add in Football Manager, so you can know whether you're going through or not based on the results around Europe right now. Because it's so chaotic on match day 8 now. It's one of the reasons why I like the change from group stage to league phase. Oftentimes, if you remember back in European competitions, oh mad, wonderfully done. Match day 6 of the group stage in certain groups will be totally meaningless. Not on match day 8 anymore. Every year, it's going to be chaos. 4-0, it's a brilliant win regardless, but is it going to be enough? Chance for Craiova to get a goal to take back to Romania with them. But again, because of how tight it is, it may all come down to goal difference. So I want to make sure we keep a clean sheet. We don't. Jorgensen gets it. And if that's the goal that sees us drop to the playoffs and not bypass them, I am not going to be happy about that. They'll celebrate at least something to take back to Romania. But the big question is that goal... If this ends up being the case, I'm going to be fuming. Is that goal going to stop us from finishing in the top 8? We've taken care of business tonight. But have we done enough? Nah, surely not. Surely not. Come on. That goal can't be the thing that stops us from making the last 16, surely. Well, we'll have to get it the old-fashioned way because the deadline day is now here and it's going to be Sunderland finishing in the Champions League phase. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we've made it. We've made it. 7th place in the end. What's the GD? 5. Oh, we would have been okay anyway. We would have been fine. Well, obviously, it would have been 6. But, yeah, we make it in the end. Courtesy of that final day victory. So the top 8, Dortmund, Real Madrid, Frankfurt, Juve, Atletico, Man City, Sunderland and PSG all bypassing the playoffs as I'll go through the full league phase for you as well. Well, we left it late, but better late than never. Sunderland into the last 16. Taking care of business every day. Thank goodness for that, man. I mean, it was 2 late goals we conceded against Bayern and Craiova. If they would have been the reason why we didn't make the last day, I'd have been fuming. We continued to get bids for Fulton, by the way, on deadline day. But I said before, he's going nowhere. Listen, you can stay on the transfer list if you want, Gordon, but you and your agent shot yourselves in the foot. You signed a 3-year extension, mate. This is something I really want EA to work on as well, man. Like, why would a player be happy extending his contract by several years if he is desperate to leave the club? He's now got 3.5 years left in his deal, and yet I still can't remove him from the transfer list. Mate, you're the one that extended. You're the one that decided to extend it by 3 years. I don't know. Anyway, let's get through deadline day quickly and play 2 or 3 more games today. Obviously, we're squeezing in that Man City Carabao Cup second leg at the semi-final, but we'll also have Southampton in the Premier League and maybe Spurs as well, because we always have a good battle against them every time we face them. So on deadline day, nothing done from Sunderland. Like I said, run that back turbo. We're doing nothing with the team. As you see, the top deals in the end, 2 new gens, part of the window, and Kamada joins Man City for 37.6 million. I always say there's a part in a career mode where the new gens start to not necessarily take over, but become mainstays. We are definitely at that period now. Right, following game then, we are indeed home. It is indeed newly promoted Southampton. It should be a banker and our 3rd win in a row in all competitions, but we did draw with them away at St Mary's early on this season, so got to make sure if we are to keep clear of Arsenal and Man City, right behind Liverpool gaining some steam as well. With 15 to play, we've got to keep the winning run going. Following game, Southampton comes to the stadium alive. How are the lads? I remember saying at the start of the season, I can see this campaign going one of 2 ways. Either Man City will run away with it once again for the 3rd straight year, extending their dominance and prolonging their dynasty, or it's going to be a really close title race between 2, if not 3 teams. At the moment, that is definitely the case. You can't rule out Liverpool. They're still in this in 4th right now, but they're what you call the dark horse for the title. They're there. You've got to be aware of them, but they're not the main threat right now. But for us, Arsenal, Man City, I don't think any of us are going to pull away in the final 15 and get an unsurmountable lead. I think it's going to be very close all the way through. As Hannibal rolls it through, this should be 1. Norton's all alone. No. Oh, I should have just belted it with Talby. Tried to cut it across. Wrong decision. That's poor from me. It's okay. It's fine. There'll be more chances today, I'm sure of that. But Southampton, as we know, like to dominate possession. Pass the ball around nicely. And they'll have some chances too, I'm sure, after putting 2 past us at St Mary's. But at the moment, it is Sunderland on top. Looking good early doors. 36 minutes on the clock. I thought it was like 20. I thought we'd barely played the first half. All right, fair enough. It's not early doors. 8 to go before the break, and still currently tied at 0-0. Where is this half gone? As Norton holds it up brilliantly and rolls through Siddiqui. Well, it's going to come to an end of us leading now. And it's, sorry, not Siddiqui, Fatawi who's got it. Abdul, 91 rated now, gets his 10th for the year. And Sunderland strike first right before the break. Not early doors. Kyle does really well there. And with half an hour to go, still leading by 1. And as Goro finds Hannibal back into Norton. As Man City have come from behind to lead Fulham. They were trailing, but they've come from behind to lead there. Like I said, man, they ain't going to go away. They ain't going to go away at all, man. They're going for the three-peat. And they are going to stay with us every step of the way, if not leapfrog us at some point. As Talby looks to turn and get himself inside with his trademark step inside. Wonderful dribbling! It's what he and Vitaru love to do. It's why they are two of the deadliest inside forwards in the division. 8th in 24, averaging 1 in every 3, and that is a contender for goal of the season. Yeah, wouldn't say Sunderland are back to their best, but 3 straight wins in all competitions and definitely back on track. Our long unbeaten run continues and staying top of the Premier League. And Man City got that win there against Fulham. So just before that Carabao Cup semi-second leg, I do want to see if Arsenal match the result as well, with what will now be 14 games to play, where we'll still be top, but yeah, 4-point gap, 6 clear of Man City. And again, you can't rule out Liverpool. 12 clear of them right now. Chelsea, I don't know, they could make a late run, but I think really it's the 4 teams here. A little bit of dark horses, but Man City and Arsenal, we might still have a 2-game swing on them, but believe me, we are far from comfortable at the top of the table. Right, following game, we'll probably end on this, if not play one more, but this is it. Definitely the biggest game of the season so far. It is the Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg away at the Etihad Stadium. Tied at 1-1 after the first leg, as we aim to get to the first domestic League Cup final, in the save, and the second domestic cup final in 2 years as well. Man City away at the Etihad Stadium in the second leg, where the backup brigade will try and pull off the impossible and make Wembley Highway to that. And I just saw pre-game as well that last night West Ham knocked out Chelsea in an all-London semi, so Graham Potter is cooking there at the London Stadium. So this is when the manager market is working. That's why he's still, we talked about it earlier, that's why he's still there, because he's doing brilliantly well with West Ham. Obviously, he's joined Sweden now in real life, taking a Sweden job. That's cool to see that. Obviously, spent time in Sweden with Ostersund, speaks Swedish as well. And I know they've had a bit of a chaotic World Cup qualifying campaign, Sweden, so they'll need to provide a miracle if they're going to make it through from now. But, well, based on how they're getting on in the save, I guess he's the right man for the job. Anyway, still 0-0 here. There's Rig, finds a bit of space, lets fly. Donnarumma saw it late. Did get a touch on the ball, but not convincing goalkeeping. Not for the first time against him. Still 0-0, but he's not exactly holding his own at the moment. Let's keep on going. Yeah, he should have saved the Burrows shot in the first leg. And once again, not what you call convincing goalkeeping from the big Italian. And that interception by Kuzanov was quite literal goal saving there. The Uzbekistan international did just about enough and keeps it at 0-0. And that's a great ball through and finds Erling Haaland. Haaland finds a bit of space, and the Norwegian international himself looking for the room, finds his man, shot comes in. And on one end we could have been a goal up, on the other we're a goal down. Great finish by Krupi. Man City had the lead. Patterson kicks it through to Ibanez. And now down to Rig. Playing again to go, ain't worrying. We were behind in the first leg and we found a leveller. No reason we can't do it again. There's Mayenda, one of the OGs, looks to turn. Back to Rig, another OG. Finds a bit of space and puts it wide. I'm finding that to beat a defender and find some space, that skill move this year is the most effective. It is the heel to heel flick. You flick it, flick the right stick up and down. Well, depending on where you are on the pitch and what direction you are. But if you're going like up, for example, towards where their Puma advertising hoarding is, it'll be up then down. Or for example, if you're going for where the goal would be on the left-hand side, it's left and then right. But yeah, it's very, very OP this year to find space. And speaking of finding space, Haaland was through, and Anthony Patterson makes a really important stop to keep us only down by 1. Well, there's definitely a second goal tonight, but I think if we get it, we'll have a chance. If Man City get it, that's going to be tie over. There's Hinshaw. Come on, take him on. Back to Dan. Rig. There he is again. Heel to heel flick. Shoots. Donnarumma with the save. And turn behind by the big Italian. There's a second goal tonight. If we get it, I fancy us to turn this round. Oh, if Man City get it, I fancy them to kill this tie off. Shocked faces in the home end as we look for a leveller and just can't get it yet. Did I call this game the biggest of the save pre-game, by the way? Because it definitely isn't. We had 2 FA Cup finals and a Conference League final. Of course, it's not the biggest game of the save, but it's definitely up there, to be fair. Chance to reach the League Cup final for the first time in the save. I don't know if we'll get another chance, to be fair, based on our strategy now of always playing the backup side. And we're not the biggest game of the save, but definitely one of the biggest games of the season, that's for sure. There'll be bigger to come, obviously in the Champions League and in the FA Cup, we assume, and in the Premier League too. Oh, the ball. Great build-up. Come on! And that's a big moment. 28 minutes to go. Dan Neal the leveller and Sunderland equalise. 5 minutes to play. Is there going to be a winner? Jeremy Pino, the Spaniard, down his right-hand side. Looking for a teammate. Finds one. Erling Haaland shoots from range. That's an easy save for Patterson. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do it again. I'm bringing on Fulton. Patterson, as we know, can't save penalties, but Fulton was the hero in those quarterfinals. So I'm going to count down the seconds until stoppage time and boot the ball out of play for a throw-in so I can bring on Fulton to see if the kid can provide... Well, actually... Oh... Rig... Ibanez, Neil, Martinez! Thought I'd won it. And I couldn't get Fulton on the pitch. I gambled it for one last chance. And I almost won it with a final kick. But penalties it is once again to see who will make the Carabao Cup final. Anthony, it's on you. It's time for your redemption arc, son. Come on. Yeah, I wanted to get Fulton back on after his heroics in the previous round, but... I had a choice to make really. It was I would just boot the ball into touch and give up that final chance, or go for it and hope you can score a last second winner. I don't regret that decision, but I guess we'll see if it backfires or not on the spot kicks. Anthony Patterson, who famously can't save penalties, has to try and stop Erling Haaland, and doesn't. He doesn't. Promise I need you, son. I've got to be perfect from the spot kicks and hope Man City blast one off target now. Nico Gonzalez. I'm going the same corner again. He just can't do it. I don't know what it is, but he just can't do it, man. Mayenda next time. God, I trust Mayenda. Yep, 2-2. Well, we've gone the same way both times. I think they're going to do it again. You know, sometimes the AI always go the same way. So, there we go. I called it, Patterson. Okay. Hinchell with top left, son. Top left. Yes, 3-2. Yeah, sometimes the AI will always go the same way. And with Reinders, I think he's doing it again. He's not. He's changed it. And it is 3-3. We still have the penalty in hand. We still have the pen in hand. Tom Watson to put us back in front and put us on the brink of the final. He's done it. We've been perfect with every penalty. And if Anthony Patterson can do it again and save his second in 3, Sunderland are heading to Wembley, and it's redemption for the number 1, who 2 years ago was memed for his spot kick failures against Ipswich Town, but now can be a hero and not send Sunderland through yet, as Benjamin Henriks converts. But if Chris Rigg does the same, we are through to the Carabao Cup final for the first time in the save, to take on West Ham United at Wembley. Book your ticket! Sunderland are heading there, and the backup brigade have held their nerve again. Chris Rigg never let you down. Sunderland are heading to Wembley once again. What an achievement from Sunderland, going all the way to the Carabao Cup final, knocking out Manchester City and Spurs in the process. Where we'll take on West Ham at Wembley for a chance to back-to-back domestic honours. And our quadruple dreams stay alive, man. I never thought we would have had a chance at this in Season 5, but we do indeed. And I don't think I've ever won a cup before with a backup side all the way, but we've got a chance for the first time at making Doc's history it will indeed be West Ham, with both teams making it through on penalties in the Carabao Cup final. And that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Massive thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with the more big games in the Premier League. We aim to stay top of the table and extend that gap at the top as well. The FA Cup 4th round away against my guys, Millwall. And do we have the Carabao Cup final? Hold on. Well, it's the end of March, isn't it? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, oh, no, we won't, because it's the Champions League last 16, isn't there? That'll come around here. So actually, do you know what? No. So we'll have that in 2 episodes' time. But we'll have the last 16 of the Champions League. We'll see the draw and have the tie as well. We'll have the FA Cup 4th round away at the Den against my guys Millwall, and more big games in the Premier League as well, as we aim to stay unbeaten. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, as we'll continue to hunt for the quadruple against all odds very soon.